Hi, I'm Henrik Mårtensson. Welcome to the Agile Business series of webcasts. Finding 100 ways out of the crisis, and I mean that quite literally, requires a bit of creativity. And you can be a lot more creative than you think. All you need is a little nudge in the right direction. I'll illustrate with a short anecdote. About 2 weeks ago, I sat in a cafe. Next to me were two people with notepads and pens brainstorming a movie project. It was a very lively discussion, but after about 10 to 15 minutes, neither had written anything down. Now I asked if I might make a suggestion. They said yes, and I gave them a simple tip about how to speed up the brainstorming process. 5 minutes later, they had 2 full pages of ideas jotted down. Try to figure out what I said to them. I'll give the answer at the end of this videocast, and don't peek. There are lots of things a company can do to survive, even thrive, in the recession. Some things are easy and can improve performance just about anywhere. Over the years, I have built a strategic database. It contains hundreds of things you can do to make your company tougher and able to thrive in the crisis. The Agile Business series will explore some of the ideas, tools and techniques in that database. I'll begin by showing you something really simple. This is something you can do in any organization, regardless of size or circumstances, provided that you, the boss, is serious about navigating your company through the crisis. The single most underutilized power in your company is the brain power of your employees. Learn to direct it and use it, and you will not just survive the crisis, you will come out a winner. If you are the boss, you may feel obligated to do the thinking for the entire organization, or at least your part of it. That's the traditional view of what a manager should do, and that's how most companies are run. Not the ones successful in the business climate of today, though. We can no longer afford to waste brain power. Companies like Apple, IDEO, Whole Foods, Google, Gore, Toyota, the Virgin Group, all rely on the brain power of the people who work in the organization. They do it in different ways, but they all do it very effectively. To understand better what happens in these companies, let's have a closer look at creativity, what creativity is and how it works. We all have knowledge. A body of knowledge is a set of facts and understanding of the relationships between these facts. And we all have many such bodies of knowledge. Creativity is the process of breaking down the relationships that bind facts together and recombine in new and interesting ways. For example, agile software development methodologies are a result of combining knowledge about writing software with knowledge about process control, lean, theory of constraints, behavioral science and other bodies of knowledge. The theory of constraints combines knowledge of physics with knowledge of management. Lean draws from knowledge about supply chains in food stores, from statistical process control and other sources. And so it goes. Creativity is a continuous game of destruction and creation. Now this sounds very difficult. We think of creative people like Steve Jobs, Da Vinci, Henry Ford, Michelangelo, Edison as mysterious, people to be admired but never understood. In reality, most of us have quite a bit of creative potential. It's just that we are not used to thinking of ourselves as creative. There are also many factors in our society that discourage creativity. Creativity can be encouraged, trained, directed and unleashed. The amazing thing is that with most people you can flip the creativity switch in just a few minutes. You can also focus groups of people, even large groups, on thinking creatively about a problem. Encouraging and focusing creativity is a core leadership skill. It's a skill you can learn quite easily. It's fun, enjoyable, even addictive. Now I must admit, I get high on helping people think creatively. I'll talk a little bit about a method that has been used successfully for decades. Users include the military, police and business organizations. In a previous series of webcasts, I showed how to use Crawford slip brainstorming to mobilize people and generate options for action. I showed how to turn the ideas into a project plan. I showed how to set a clear, unambiguous goal, which is a prerequisite for creating unity in your organization. And the initial brainstorming can be done in 1 to 2 hours. That's 2 hours to turn your organization around. And maybe 2 days to create a business plan that gets you moving out of the crisis. That's all it takes to get started. A key point is to involve as many people as possible. Involve everyone in the organization if you can. Brainstorm with customers if you can do that. Remember, you want to start with as many different bodies of experience and knowledge as possible. Now, I had owned a company for 10 years before I learned to do that in a systematic and efficient manner. And the only difference between me and you is that because of the recession, you don't have that long to figure it out. You need to get there fast. The person you're about to lay off today may very well be the person with the key to your company's future. Once you have made the quick start, it's time to consider further options. What can you do that has the greatest possible effect on your company over the next year, over the next 5 years, over the next 25 years? Think about it. What was it that enabled Toyota to go from a near bankrupt maker of looms to the world's most profitable maker of cars? What is it that makes Gore confident they will double in size during the recession years? Why is the Virgin Group able to withstand so much more economic damage during the recession than, say, Volvo or General Motors? How do crisis-ready organizations like the US Marine Corps, fire departments and the police work? Can you make use of that knowledge to build a tougher business organization? What do they have in common? What separates them from the rest? Think about it. Talk with your friends and colleagues about it. And watch the next episode of Agile Business. That's how you find 100 ways out of the crisis. Oh, by the way, still curious about what I told the 2 movie makers? I told them to sit down separately and write down their ideas, then discuss their ideas with each other. Then sit down separately again and write down any further ideas they had. This works just like a Crawford slip session, and it worked like a charm. Be seeing you.